This is Grandma's sister, Aunt Mary. The way she's dressed, I would guess this picture was taken in the 1920s. She looks like a flapper. Okay, this picture is July 1921, and that's Aunt Mary on the left. And then Hazel, I can't remember, it's set on the back. There's two McClanskys, and Hazel Blank is the last person. This must be in Chicago. Now this picture says that Aunt Mary is the one with the marvelous hat. Now which one do you suppose that is? That's all it says on the back. Aunt Mary with the marvelous hat. Well, pretty marvelous. This one says friend, friend, Aunt Mary, friend. Aunt Mary means Mary Waddell, Grandma's sister. This is Mary Waddell at 829 Jefferson Street in Galesburg. This picture was taken in the 1940s. Now this says this is Mary's wedding picture. Her first husband, Mike, there on the left. Then that must be their best man. Mary was married twice. I don't know if her first husband died or if they got divorced. This is Mary and Mike. And the plant there is actually painted on the wall. It says Aunt Mary painted this plant on the wall. She must have been an artist. I'd like to see that paper. Read one of those ads. I guess not. This picture says Aunt Mary with her second husband, Ben Smith. She has to dump that first guy. This is old Betty McNichols, the woman who was in the Florida picture earlier. This is Grandma Landon's brother, George Waddell, at 3 years old. Uncle George is what we call him. He was around when us kids were little. This is George Waddell, 24 years old. I remember hearing once that Uncle George was in the service and he helped build the Panama Canal, and he had some coin given to everybody who helped build it. Possibly what he did at this age. Someone may recognize where he is from that house in the background. Guess I better show it. This is George and Walter. George Waddell and Walter. Looks like they're in Panama now. It doesn't say what year or where this picture was taken. Uncle George later joined the Merchant Marines. This is him at the far left, with Mary and George Middlemas, friends of his from the Merchant Marines. This says George Waddell on the back. Uncle George, when I was a kid, he used to ride a three-wheeled bicycle with big baskets on the side around town. And he always said he rode his bike to Texas in the winter. And I always believed that he did. I kind of doubt it now. He drank quite heavily, from what I can remember. In fact, I'm not sure I ever saw him sober. He was a caretaker out at Camp Shabina in the summer in Galesburg. And then in the winter, he allegedly rode that bicycle to Texas. And then he'd show up again the next spring. This is George and Charlie. George Waddell and Charlie, whoever Charlie is. I think Charlie was possibly Grandma's brother. And this is Grandma Landon's cousins, Ethel and George. Sent this at Christmas. A joyous Christmas. Ethel and George. This is Grandma's brothers, Walter and Charles, so I guess that answers who Walter and Charles are. And this is a postcard dated 1912. It's postmarked 1912 on the back. That light you see is shining in my window on the photograph. It's actually